Maybe this sounds familiar. You switched your Google ad campaign to start optimizing towards offline sales conversions, but your cost per lead went up, and your first instinct is to panic. In today's video, I'm going to explain why you shouldn't panic. So this situation actually comes up quite often. Someone finally gets offline sales conversion tracking set up. Their CRM data is flowing back to Google Ads. They have actual closed deals being tracked as Google Ad conversions now. And within a few weeks, the cost per lead ticks upward, sometimes by a lot. The account manager freaks out, the clients freak out, and someone starts questioning whether offline conversion tracking was a good idea to begin with. It was, and I'm here to tell you that it was worth setting up. And here's what's actually happening. When you were optimizing towards form fills or phone calls, Google was bidding to get you as many form fills and calls as cheaply as possible. And it was great at that. Unfortunately, cheap form fills and calls are not the same thing as sales. The moment you switch the optimization signal to closed deals, Google's algorithm starts learning something new. Which users, which search queries, and which auctions are actually producing revenue. And it turns out those users cost more to reach. They're more competitive. Other advertisers are also bidding on them. So Google stops wasting money on the easy, cheap leads that never close and starts competing harder for the ones that do. That's why your cost per lead goes up. The algorithm is doing exactly what you told it to do. Cost per lead was always a proxy metric anyways. It was a stand-in for the thing that you actually care about, which is cost per sale. When you had no sales data flowing back to Google Ads, cost per lead was the best proxy you had. But now you have better data. So the proxy metric stops being the point. The number to watch now is cost per closed deal, cost per booked job, or cost per signed contract, whatever the actual sale looks like. If that number is healthy and your cost per lead went up, you won. You're paying more for fewer leads that close at a higher rate. That's the goal. To be clear, this only works if the offline conversion data is actually flowing back to Google Ads cleanly and consistently. If there are gaps in the signal, delayed imports, missing Google Click ID matches, partial data, the algorithm is flying blind, and a rising cost per lead just means a rising cost per lead with no benefit. Get the signal right first, then let cost per lead go up. So if you're looking at your account and your cost per lead is rising after switching to offline conversion tracking, that is not a red flag. It's confirmation that Google is relearning what a good conversion actually looks like for your business. Track cost per sale. That's the number that tells you if it's working.